Good morning, friends. Today's our topic for today is virtual judiciary or video conferencing. So now the day has come. The COVID-19 pandemic has made us to sit down in our houses, and we have to know the art of working from home. Of course, in other countries, the women certain times they will be allowed to work from home, and certain people also they can work if they do not have any office get together or things like that. So it is the practice there. But here in India also now the pandemic made us sit in the houses and think the other ways. So normally, according to section 327 of the CRPC, the court should be open. The court should be open to the public, to the litigants, to the accused, all the persons, and the trial should be conducted expeditiously as far as possible. That means the physical presence of the judge, the litigant, the advocate, the public prosecutor, and the witness, and of course the people interested, they can be allowed at one place. But now, due to the formulation of the so-called social distancing pattern, and since the people should not gather as an assembly under Disaster Management Act, now we have to think about the video conferencing. So it has been in work for the past 10 years, not now. But it now a situation has come where we are forced to go for the so-called video conferencing. No doubt nowadays the Supreme Court and the High Courts of entire India, they are conducting inquiry or they're conducting trial of the matters, important matters through video conferencing. Previously, I told you about section 65A and B of the Evidence Acts, which are amended to legally recognize the electronic record. Electronic record means a picture or a video conferencing as evidence. So you should not entertain any doubt about the video conferencing. It is agreed principle. Very recently, when Mr. Justice Deepak Gupta, who I think he retired yesterday, he has given a webinar. In that lecture, he stated that about 10 years back itself, he started it, not 10 years, 5 years back, he started it in the Tripura High Court. Tripura High Court, the video conferencing was done, and he delivered the judgment also. And he has stated the uses of the so-called virtual recording or virtual video conferencing trial also. He has stated that there are so many advantages. Of course, the disadvantages are also there. So while the what happened is, while the video conferencing or the trial through video conferencing is being done, normally the chances will be given only to the advocate concerned, so advocates concerned, and they have to participate. Otherwise, what happens is it becomes a mess. Suppose if it is a court, open court, the judge can direct the people to shut down or order, he will say. But here in this circumstance, he cannot say. That is a defect. It has been observed in the case of ex-SEC, Nimagad Ramesh Kumar. So this petition against his ouster has been being conducted through video conferencing on a particular day. So learning the password of the advocate, so many people have joined in the middle and made it a mess, and ultimately the Chief Justice of AP High Court, Mr. J.K. Maheshwari, asked all the people to come to the court and represent yesterday. I think today also that case is there. Anyway, we have to utilize the online facility. There is nowadays, now we have to think before COVID and after COVID. So after COVID means things will change, social distancing will become the norm, it's a normal pattern, you have to wear the mask, all these things. Therefore, online facility, you should utilize the same. Already I think youngsters, young generation, they are utilizing the online facility for the past 10 years. We all have apps like Amazon, Flipkart, Swiggy, Ola, Uber, Zomato, all these that help us to procure various goods and services also. Yes, if you want a phone, you can get it through Amazon. If you want to go by taxi to some other place, you can buy by Uber or Ola. If you want food, you can get them through Swiggy, all these things. So nowadays, please remember, work from home. It's a concept so which you have to encourage nowadays. So many offices, many industries, many pharmaceutical, many companies, they are gearing up to this novel custom, and also people are using the Zoom app. I don't want to say that particular app, but with the facility like Skype and other Zoom app facility, your family members or the advocates numbering about 50 or 100, they can speak, they can interact with each other. That is nothing but video conferencing. So you have to take advantage of the technology. In the initial stages, normally we do have normally we will be hesitated to follow the practice latest technology. How it is possible? We old people, we can't get into the technology. But forget those days and you have to adapt it to the situation. Of course, now let us discuss the advantages of the virtual court. There are so many advantages. Number one, the first is you will save lot of time and money of the client. Suppose if you file a case in the Supreme Court, you have to go to Delhi, you have to stay there in a hotel, lot of expenses. If it is done through video conferencing, happily you can stay in your office and you can argue the matter. So straight away they will hear. And second point is it will be easy for you. And the second point is you will have no inhibition that some other your seniors will see the others. Normally we have got the bad tendency of commenting the others. They may comment. These things need not be there. You can straight away argue the matter. Of course, the other side lawyer will be hearing, that's all. You can directly hear the matter. But please remember, at this point I want to caution you that you have to be in proper uniform even though in video conferencing. So very recently Rajasthan High Court was literally embarrassed to see an advocate coming in a banyan to argue with the bail application while the video conferencing is going on. Alright, so second point is this is advantages for the tax tribunals, income tax, sales tax, all these tribunals are there, GST. For them it is very useful because normally in such cases the personal appearance of a person is not necessary. Second, everything is borne on record. Accounts there are borne on record. You can submit the accounts. Of course, the groundwork is prepared by the lower tribunals, and of course it is for the tax tribunal to give a judgment basing on the accounts given produced before them, and if the two lawyers they can argue their points through video conferencing, the justice system will be quick for the redressal. Secondly, in High Court and Supreme Court it is easy because of course the lower courts they have to conduct a trial, they have to examine the witnesses, they have to pass the orders, all these things will be there. Definitely for the lower courts it may not be possible, but for the High Court and Supreme Court already basing on the record of evidence only, they will not reduce any further evidence. Basing on the available record they will give the judgment. So if you go for e-filing, you have a petition, appeal or something, SLP e-filing, then it will be easy for the judge to tick off, or if any queries are there, he can send you the same by email and you can reply through email and the work is efficient, and then you can simply pass the order and it will be over. Normally in the appeal and other things, but in normally otherwise what we have seen, adjournments in this video conference, normally the possibility of video this is not there. So please remember, you have to know what is email, how to submit the papers in PDF form, all these things via email you do, and the judge can decide the case basing on the available information, right? So this is the thing. So please don't be under the wrong impression that it is not. Very recently, the Bar Council of India President Manan Kumar Mishra has also written a letter to the Supreme Court. Please opt for open court because a lot of advocates they are not well versed with the so-called video conferencing. Of course, there are some disabilities also because in towns it's okay. If the lawyer is located in a remote area, the problem of internet, the problem of functioning of the cell phone, since I have iPhone 11 Max Pro, okay, it's fine for me. But what about people having a small some Chinese phone or something like it is difficult for them to interact, and these difficulties are there. Anyway, open system is the best system, and virtual also we must be habituated, because you have to imagine the coming situation and the technological development. You have to accept the technological development. So you cannot say simply, I will stick to these norms, I will stick to this only norm. So you have to adapt yourself to the technology, and definitely virtual recording and video conferencing will be the order of the coming days. So to conclude, I want to tell you, yesterday also Justice Deepak Gupta retired, and his farewell function was done on webinar. Nobody has personally attended. Everybody expressed their ideas about his good service. Of course, before retirement, on the day of retirement, normally we speak very good of him, because we want to give him a farewell. So all of them spoke very well of him, and he also given a beautiful speech. So that should be the spirit. So friends, all of you, be geared up to go for video conferencing, and in the meantime, better you try to use the so-called local apps, just like Google Meet, Geo also coming out of the platform, and WhatsApp is allowing 4 to 5 persons to interact through video conferencing. If you slowly develop yourself, automatically on one day you can sit happily in the video conferencing of the High Court and attend the answers. I hope such days will come. Thank you very much.